Hey guys, welcome to the Crypto Wave podcast, where we keep you up to date on the latest news, trends, and people that are making waves in crypto. I'm Jennifer from Space Coast Crypto Consulting, and joining me here today, I have Jesse and Joey. And I guess I've just been named the Shiba Queen.
Shiba Queen, the Defi Diva.
Bitcoin.
I like that. Defi Diva.
Bitcoin
I knew it would
Diva.
come to me.
Bitcoin babe.
Bitcoin babe. Yeah.
Bitcoin babe.
I mean, that's a little
I like
derogatory.
Yeah, but
I
she
mean,
allowed it. She opened up that conversation.
Okay. All right. Yeah. She
Yeah.
did.
We're not going down any path. We don't want any letters. We don't want to be like Dave Chappelle and get,
Oh, yeah.
we don't want any of that. No, she opened up the door. So we're using it in a positive way.
I like
Right.
the DeFi chick.
Defi Diva. I think
DeFi
it's.
Diva.
All
That just
I
has a
think-
ring to it.
Right. I think
You
like
guys vote at home.
I think I like
What
the
do you guys
DeFi.
wanna hear?
DeFi Diva. It's got a ring.
I know.
Because
I'm telling you, I don't come up with bad names.
because it could be double D too.
Okay, that would be very
That's
accurate.
derogatory.
I had to
Now
go
you
down.
cross the line. Now we're getting letters. The Pink Hat movement's going to send us all kinds of stuff.
He wouldn't be wrong, though. So.
Oh, so we learned something right off the bat.
All right, so how's everybody doing this week?
Oh, we're fine. We just
How's
had
your-
a pitch session before we started. We're good.
How's your Shiba?
Shiba's up and down. You can't read the charts. You get on Reddit, you read all these boards, and everybody's out of their minds. Half the people want to buy their yachts. The other people are yelling for people taking their profits. I mean,
Guys, hold.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Don't sell. And then
I
it's like, no,
actually-
I'm selling because I got shit, I got to pay for.
I actually heard today. I read something. Shiba is going to be used as legal tender.
Maybe for like a Lithuania or some other low currency,
I joke about it, but it's no joke. Like, people are making big money, so maybe I should have bought some.
Actually,
It's not too late. There's a lot of zeros to go.
The latest was that about Amazon might be taking it. That's the latest news that Amazon.
Well,
will be
anytime
accepting it.
Bezos or Elon, says, hey, same thing with Elon.
Yeah.
He said he was going to accept Bitcoin for, purchase a Tesla. That didn't hurt Bitcoin, did it?
No.
Exactly. So, of course, anytime somebody says, hey, we're going to make this, validated, because that's all it is. People are waiting for validation.
Mm-hmm.
They're waiting for, again, to walk into a Bank of America, screw you, or Wells Fargo or another commercial bank, okay, and they want to have, like, sir, would you like to withdraw? Yes, I'd like to withdraw. Would you like USD or Bitcoin today? Like, until it's like that mainstream to where it's like in the vernacular, again, like I mentioned before, once it's included in that ticker with the NASDAQ and they have the scrolling, ticker at the bottom, once there's that third line with Shibu and Doge and all the other assets, until it's like validated, people are still going to be on the fence. But as soon as they put the Bitcoin price above the NASDAQ and DJI, guess what? It's going to be validated. It's going to be mainstream. And people are like, I guess this is legit. All,
You just mentioned Bank of America there. They just came out with a report, actually.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
They did a survey. 20 million Americans own Bitcoin. So they reported 20 million Americans own Bitcoin. 15% of Americans own crypto, some form of crypto asset, and they're estimating by the end of this year, by the end of 2021, that it will be at 27%.
That's nice. No, that's a growing number too.
That's like double.
It's almost mirroring podcast listeners,
Yeah.
because podcasts are still getting to that, that critical mass where everybody's listening to it. Now, it's been, I haven't looked at this year's figures, but I'm imagining since everybody was home last year, everybody was consuming all kinds of virtual media, everybody, including myself, we all binge watch, Tiger King, and we all, watch the same things. We were all on the same channels. And
Tiger King?
Oh, so good. So good. Anyway, so that along with, again, just a popularity, because they're omnipresent. They're already on all your favorite apps, the Pandoras, the Spotifys, Apples, Googles.
Right.
Everybody's adopting them. Now you have, different paywalls and other things that people are using, like now Joe Rogan's exclusive to Spotify, so you're going to listen to Joe Rogan on Spotify. So, so there's a lot of shift in the space with podcasts, but I think the same thing is going to be with like crypto. You know, you're going to see there's going to be winners and losers. You know, there's going to be more and more access to getting these things. You know, I think pre-show we were talking about this this other asset that has to be wrapped around something else, and then you can only use one wallet or exchange, and it's like really hard to. I mean, same thing they did with Shiba until it got on like critical that critical mass, that mainstream, and now it's on Coinbase. By the way, I'm including the link because Coinbase gives me $10 and gives you $10 when you sign up for an app.
It's a win-win.
Get on it. Get that, because that's for me. Coinbase is very friendly as far as an asset. The wallet and exchange. It plays nice and it offers a bunch more assets than some of the other ones. And I do like other ones. I play with Kraken. I play with there's so many different ones that I use.
Crypto.com.
Yeah, Crypto.com.
Finance.us.
Yeah, Jax, Cash App. I mean, now PayPal, offers Venmo. You can get crypto on Venmo now. Like, I mean, and so more and more exchanges, more and more wallets are coming out. But I like wallets that reward me for referring people.
Coinbase is fun.
Yeah.
Because Coinbase, every now and then, they'll say, take a quiz, and they'll award you a couple of coins.
Exactly. And let me show you something as well. This is my home screen. Let me see. Where's my home screen? Stand by. Oh, there it is. So when you go to my home screen, there's a little widget. You see at the top? It's a little Coinbase widget. Oops. Always allowed. So it has like, there we go. It has like a couple of, there's like XRP, Bitcoin Cash, Bitcoin.
So anyway, show market
so it has
analysis.
Ethereum. Yeah, so it's a quick look. But when I click that widget, then it just expands into, the full app. Yeah. And that's and again, it's just it's easy to look at. You can look at your assets. I'm staking Tezos, earning 4.6%. I got Ethereum 2, earning 4.5%. I don't know of any other exchanges that really do that. So
they're all starting to add DeFi capabilities and interest earning capabilities. So there are a lot of good ones. Coinbase is definitely one of the more user friendly.
I would say, yeah.
They do also have the higher fees, but they're kind of built into the transaction, so you don't necessarily know. And I mean, if you're doing
$5 and it takes 99 cents to transact it, you're only going to net 4. Mm-hmm. So even if you spent $3 and now you want to, exchange it for something else, but with the gas and everything else, gas tax and everything. So it may not be worth it to exchange until you at least doubled, your money. But if you're playing with thousands and thousands of dollars a day, $99. I mean, if you're spending $5 in trades, on those 5 trades, $5 is nothing. If you're transacting thousands of dollars at a time. But it does make sense to. I mean, same thing with a lot of the retail stock exchanges. I mean, I know E-Trade was like $4.95, $6.95 per transaction. So every time I sold, it cost me $7 for that transaction. Well, if I'm selling $40 and you're going to take 7 of it, I'm not really netting a whole lot. I'm netting what, 33? And if I invested 25, I'm only making $8. And so you really have to be a little bit more critical as to when to trade and when not to trade. But again, unless you're doing day trading, it really matters because it will add up if you're doing many transactions in a day. But if you're one of those guys like Joey and I, and we're just like, let it sit, let it ride. $5 on this, whatever. $10 on that. You're not going to trade it often. You're not going to see that expense.
No, not at all. I was curious when we get back about those numbers. Also, when it hits mainstream right now, the demographic of the crypto purchaser. Mm-hmm. I'm curious. Is it under 45? Is the average age under 45 of people involved in crypto? Yeah. Really heavily?
The average age is from 20 to 34.
But I'm thinking the youngest, and that's a big average because I think there are.
Maybe it was 24 to 34 male.
Yeah.
Is the average,
by how many though? A male versus female?
Oh, it's definitely male dominated. That was
like what?
The
like 80-20 or 90-10?
I can't recall.
99-1? You think only 1% of crypto holders are female? That'd be a pretty dramatic. I mean, there's a lot there's a lot of potential. I think if we wrapped it up in some Chanel
Yeah.
or something,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
that's derogatory too. I'm sorry, feminist.
Well, no, and for me,
you know.
like I am a woman in crypto,
Yeah.
and I, the DeFi chick or DeFi Diva.
The Defi Diva. It's there. Hashtag Defi Diva. There she
She's
is.
got it.
Yeah.
Yes, and I think it's so important for women to get financially educated and to be able to have a chance at having a part in this space. And this is like the best time in the world. We're witnessing history happening, and we get to be a part of it. And I want to help reach women and
Right.
to reach that audience. But it's definitely male dominated, all finances.
And Jesse and I also want to help women too. That is a goal in our life, is to
Yes.
We want to lift you up
lift and
from
help.
the bra strap. I mean bootstrap. I mean.
We are going in a different direction in this show, and we might have a whole different podcast.
Yeah, well, we like to have fun. I'm not doing this because I know a whole lot about crypto. I'm doing this because I want to learn about it, and I want to share what transacts, because I follow a lot of stuff. TikTok, Instagram. There's always, like there's tons of subreddits now. So no matter what social media, there is, you put in a hashtag crypto, and you're gonna find tons of people talking about it, and including that hashtag and their stories and everything else. So it's not like it's it's hard to find. It's everywhere. So so things that are coming across, from your people and your influence, and of course, Jennifer, who's in the space, she's industry minded, so she's getting stuff from LinkedIn and everything else. So we're getting bombarded with all kinds of, but it's up to a couple of us. I mean, and that's why I feel like we offer some value, because we're able to kind of disseminate, like, okay, that's definitely something that's track worthy. That's something to follow, and that just seems like,
and the more time that you spend in the space, the more you can really filter out, like, who are the credible people in the space. Because with every great opportunity comes a great opportunity for a lot of scams and a lot of crap.
Well, you see that a lot on Reddit. You do see that a lot. And one of the things, and I just want to evaporate a little bit more of what Jesse's talking about. Evaporate? No.
Evaporate?
Elaborate.
Elaborate. Not evaporate. We don't want to take away what he's saying. We want to elaborate.
Well, if you evaporate, I'm gonna have like cotton mouth, and then I'm gonna shrivel like a raisin. So I don't need to be evaporated.
So I want to elaborate a little bit more. For Jesse and I, Jesse has other podcasts, and I've been in media for 35 years. So this is a new trend. So for myself not to pay attention to what's going on, I'm not doing any justice whether I'm investing in it or I'm not. It's just, it behooves me. That's a good word. It behooves me to be educated on the subject. And then in the 10 weeks, 11 weeks, how long have we been doing this show here?
Yeah.
How long?
This is our 14th episode, I think.
14. Okay. See, I'm not good at math. I missed an episode, I guess. I don't know.
Adding.
Yeah.
But from day one to now, and the information that I hold and the questions.
You now have people calling you for
I
crypto
do. I
advice.
have friends ask questions, and, I just give them basic information because I'm no pro at this, but it goes down to basic investing as well. If you have a knowledge of investing, it's just a matter of who and what to trust. But when you get on these subreddits like Jesse's talking about, there is a lot of scam and there is a lot of BS in there, and you have to weed it out because there are a lot of people trying to manipulate, and because this is a digital product, you have to also be very careful. People trying to take away your money and being scammed, and fake email addresses and fake sites.
With opportunity comes opportunists.
Yes.
And just like, I use an analogy like the Wild Wild West, right? We're in a caravan. We're making it, but there's going to be Indians, there's going to be the mountains, there's going to be, dehydration, there's going to
Janet Yellen.
There's going to be some things, right? There's going to be some things along the way, and maybe, your stagecoach may not make it, but if you do, and that's why they would leave with 20 stagecoach, because maybe 4 or 5 would make it to the promised land, to for the gold rush or whatever. But think about the gold rush. You got the guys with the picks and doing all the work, and then there's the bandits with a gun going, all right, well, how's the day in the mountains? Oh, man, look at this rock. I'm like, all right, I'll take that. Mm-hmm. Okay? And so you always have to be aware of those people who just are just there as parasites, and they just want to capitalize on your work and your trust or mistrust of somebody.
On that, maybe we should talk about some scams that are going on. Have you guys had any scamming attempts or?
Not really.
Not me, no.
Because like you said, with great opportunity comes opportunists.
That could be a great episode, though. So we could probably segue that to
I
a
think
whole
we'll
episode.
hold that for another episode because I think that would be more fun.
And I think if people are listening and they've seen something like that, send us a leak, send us an example of of an email that maybe you got, like, hey, notice you have Bitcoin, or welcome, or they use an old letterhead, and I can't tell you how many times I'll do that, like the PayPal scam. Oh, you $1,200 is spent. Like, I didn't spend $1,200. Oh, I should be aware now.
Log in
But,
here.
Yeah, but it's always like some actionable thing, and the logo isn't right. The whole letterhead, even the signature, everything's different than what PayPal would normally send you. So you have to be skeptical and like, wait, I don't remember signing up to this email with my PayPal, so maybe before you click any links, just be very, very wary that there are scams.
And if you ever receive crypto in your wallet that you did not purchase, do not click on it. So that's what's called dusting, and people will airdrop crypto into your wallet. So what they can do is they can look, because the blockchain is open and we can see everything, they can look for wallet addresses that have just made purchases, and they'll airdrop some fake token that has no value or whatever, and as soon as you click it, it will give them access to your wallet, so then they can go in and steal your funds. So just be wary. If you ever see any crypto that appears into your wallet that you didn't purchase, do not transact with it.
And that just gave me a good idea, because we were trying to figure out different NFTs. I think I'm going to, and I'll tell you guys this post-show, I won't divulge it right now.
Ooh,
but I do like some of the things that we're saying. So, because NFTs, it's really gone to critical mass. People are just, there's more stores, more exchanges. Come to our superstore. Make your NFT here. Sell it here. There's big marketplaces opening up. By the way, if you think you're a marketplace and you have a really good selection and catalog of NFTs, and you want us to help you share that, certainly get in touch with us, and Jennifer will give her contact information periodically throughout the episode. But certainly, we're all about that. That's a big promise. We were discussing it's going to go way beyond just GIFs and JPEGs and digital art. Maybe books and maybe clips of movies and maybe never before seen director's cuts. It could just go to so many different levels to where I don't think we'll ever have like
the Hunter Biden collection set.
Oh, is there a Hunter Biden collection?
I think
already?
so. The Hunter Biden collection set will be.
I'm sure it's already sold out for millions of dollars.
Yeah, for the 2024. Yeah, the Hunter Biden collection. It comes with its own straw.
Oh.
Commemorative straw, gold plated.
That's funny.
Thank you. I'll be here all week. Salud.
But there's a lot more to come in this whole marketplace. And again, there's more things to be super, just use your common sense.
There's so much to learn.
Use common sense.
So take this time now to learn it, to just get all this information that you can on NFTs and in the crypto space and into DeFi. So much to learn. Yeah.
Going back to that original story, is Jpmorgan Chase, they got their coin. Have we seen any other movement from any other big banks?
Bank of America has the most crypto patents. But what I thought was funny was the story when it was reported by Yahoo Finance. They reported that...
I reserve my opinion.
Yahoo Finance reported Bitcoin's price down to 55. And it's like... Bitcoin is up like 30% this month,
right?
But it's still not as high as the 64. So they just started the whole story with a whole negative connotation.
Yeah, Yahoo.
Bitcoin down to 55,000.
It's just amazing.
But it's raging today, 57.
Wow.
Did you know? Here's a little trivia question.
Okay.
What was the original name of Bank of America?
Well, I remember when it was Nations Bank.
Before that.
It was
its original name.
Oh, Bank of Italy.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Bank of Italy, as we say that during the week of Christmas Columbus and Italian Heritage Month.
Yeah.
I know that because I am reading the book Layered Money right now by Nick Batia.
You said layered?
Layered Money.
Layered Money.
Yes. So I saw Robert Breedlove at a conference recently, and he did a presentation. So Robert Breedlove is an amazing Bitcoiner philosopher, and he did a whole presentation on layered money and the different, basically the pyramid of money and the Federal Reserve, but his whole teachings were on the book Layered Money. So, but they talk about basically where money came from and how
You have to share that with us.
yeah. I'll put a link down.
Pass
in
it
the
around.
comments.
No, I'm talking about between the studio.
Oh yeah,
You ain't gotta put no
absolutely.
links for nobody.
I'll
They
put a
gotta find-
link for the book.
Okay.
I'll put a link down below in the description
There you go.
for the book. Yes, it's a great book so far,
Well,
and it's an easy read. It's pretty short.
oh, is it?
Yeah.
Well, let's pass it around because that's something that I'd be very
I'd
interested in.
be interested
Yeah.
in that. That's a nice short story.
Yeah.
Well, it's not that short.
It's not that short.
Not
So
that short, not that long.
moving to other news.
Mm-hmm.
You had another headline that mentioned. Joey, help me out.
China.
So-
what were we talking
Was it
about?
China?
Yes.
Yeah, a lot of news coming out of China. Boy, oh boy.
I feel like we have to have our own China segment every show.
Yeah, well, it's just such a part of our.
Well, move on over China because the U.S. has now become the king.
That was the news. Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
That's a great headline.
The U.S. Is officially the top destination for Bitcoin miners.
Miners. So we are the miner
Yes.
capital of the world.
So after the exodus of China has banned Bitcoin. They kicked all the miners out. So now all this mining equipment was looking for a new home, and so the hash rate dropped dramatically. And so there is what's called a difficulty adjustment, where the mathematical equations that are solved have to adjust. Basically, they made it easier for them to solve. When there's so many miners, they make it more difficult, so then it's more competitive to be in the race to mine these blocks.
Oh.
And so the difficulty adjustment dropped. So miners have been very productive this past month or so.
And Ted Cruz made an announcement about the miners, using the miners for using crypto miners for energy.
Well, I don't think you use crypto mining for energy. Crypto miners use energy for crypto mining.
But it was a positive. He was using it.
Oh,
as
I'm
a
sure.
positive.
Well, listen, let's be honest. Texas is a really big economy, and they have no problem absorbing anything that's coming from California or China.
Oh.
And a lot of people are going there because they are so low regulated for business. They're very business friendly. They want the manufacturers. Elon Musk. It's official.
Well, the U.S.
Everybody's
now
moving.
has 1/3 of the global hash rate here in the U.S.
Yeah.
And U.S. mining firms are more renewable energy friendly.
For how long though? Before Greenpeace and these progressives, from that left wing and
Let's not get
AOC
political.
and-
Let's
no,
not-
I'm just curious
I know,
when
but-
they're going to mess that up.
but
when they
but-
start pulling the plug.
But we don't know that they are. You're speculating,
Of course.
of course. So, without speculating,
Is he
let's just
speculating or is he manifesting?
let's just pretend that they're going to use solar. Okay,
Oh,
because there's
okay.
already existing
Yeah,
solar
well, they're
and
using
wind.
renewable
in
energy.
Texas.
Is that what they're doing?
Yes,
Oh,
they're
okay.
using more renewable friendly.
Oh,
But for me, if I was a miner, I would be in Yellowstone or somewhere else where there's a geothermal
Using the steam?
activity. Well, it's endless.
yeah.
It's there, and it just like the volcano in El Salvador. It's just there, and it's always there. The wind may not blow. The sun may be a cloudy, rainy day.
May not shine.
So and at night, what do you do? But that geothermal, like Old Faithful, goes off every hour. I mean, that there's something bubbling underneath that surface, and they're always talking about this apocalyptic, geyser that's going to happen, and it's just going to be crazy. But I think in the meantime, we do have lots of active volcanoes around the world. And if El Salvador can be that
Yeah, they're doing
case
it. They're
study,
up and running.
that's what I'm saying.
They're up and
Sidebar
running.
on El Salvador. Did you see that? They actually, because of the crypto, they actually had a profit of $4 or $7 million. They're building a pet hospital.
Yes, I
with
saw
the
that.
with the surplus that they acquired through crypto.
A pet
But I also
hospital.
heard there's a little bit of a learning curve. People are trying to figure out how to transact with it.
Yeah, but there's a surplus, so
Right.
they're building a pet hospital.
That's beautiful.
Yes.
Yay, pets. But I think that could be a very good case study for for miners to explore other volcanoes
Yeah.
Yeah,
or
absolutely.
geothermal or tidal energy. People don't think about the tides. I mean, there's a lot of offshore tidal farms where it's just a buoy, and it's just, with the waves, it goes up and down, and out the bottom it has, just like the wind, it has a turbine, and it's generating things, and you got a big old long line.
Yeah,
you've never seen tidal. There's so many
crazy.
ways to harness energy in this world. But a lot of them are high maintenance and very expensive to get out there, and yield it's not really as efficient as nuclear. It just isn't. So, we continue to use nuclear. We continue to use coal. Liquid natural gas is another fuel that's very abundant.
And our favorite,
and
liquid
very cheap.
magma.
So, anyway, I'm glad that that U.S. is taking on that burden and being an open-armed, loving receiver of all these crypto mining refugees, I guess we could call it, right?
So what did China come out and say something today?
Yes, China made a statement that they're going to arrest everybody that's involved in. What was my?
Arrest people.
Yeah,
That's pretty dramatic. But they arrest anybody.
Mm-hmm.
You make a wrong Facebook post or whatever their equivalent, with Twitter, and you're in jail.
This just came off the wire. I just got this as a news break. Shiba Inu
Into the mic.
Yeah, Shiba. I can't read and do this at the same
Sure
time. You can. Shiba introduces a new supply burn mechanism as widely circulated prediction for the coin to hit 1 cent.
Oh, that's good. So they're going to burn some Shiba, and that will.
With 5 trillion they got out there.
Okay, so that'll get it closer to a penny.
Yeah.
All right, because I got the yacht on order.
Spending your winnings before you get them.
Yeah, I got enough to buy
Well,
I have enough to buy a Schwinn.
Well, enough about China, because I'm sure there's an algorithm where they pick up the word China every time somebody says it. They got billions of people over in China. I'm sure one person's dedicated just scanning YouTube, waiting for the hashtag China to come up, and then they're going to look and decide if it's something that's needs to be investigated further.
Or hashtag Australia. I heard that.
Hashtag Australia. Save Australia.
I heard that they were banning they were censoring all info coming from Australia.
That's what happens as soon as you give up your liberties and you stay home and you listen to all these other draconian measures, which, in America, I really think we're going to be put up a little bit more fight than those Aussies, and not no disrespect, but don't mess with the liberties of an American.
That's what's happening. That's all what's happening. Here it says China wants to convict and sentence crypto activities. Cryptocurrency companies have been suspending their services to mainland China users.
Curious. Once again, welcome to communism, people. This is not what direction we want to go in. Okay.
All right. Well, we're gonna take a quick break.
Is it that time?
Yes.
Oh God.
Reset.
When we come back from the break, we're enough about China. Let's see. Let's see what Biden's up to now. When we come back from the break.
Another person I don't want to give airtime to.
Speaking of China, what a segue! China and Biden.
China Joe.
China Joe.
More when we return.
Cryptocurrency can be confusing and hard. At Space Coast Crypto Consulting, we make cryptocurrency easy for you to learn and understand. In a world of uncertainty and out-of-control central banks, it's our mission to empower you with the knowledge that you need to confidently control and grow your own crypto portfolio. Call now to begin your crypto journey. 321-412-4021. That's Space Coast Crypto Consulting at 321-412-4021.
Welcome back, everybody. Our second half of today's exciting show, we are going to talk about our favorite subject, Joe Biden.
Crypto.
And our economy under the Biden administration. And I guess we'll be talking about Janet Yellen and her band of fools.
Yes.
And he's finally working on the supply chain. It only took him long enough because I guess Hunter can't get a new G.I. Joe to play with or a new sex doll to come in off the water. So.
Well, this is what we have to deal with. So Biden has tried to release an executive order. So he's proposed it. It hasn't gone through anything. But basically, he wants to see how we're going to regulate crypto. This will include financial regulation, economic innovation, and national security.
He does not know what a crypto is. It's his handlers.
They don't. No.
His handlers want him to have an executive order.
Yeah. Can you imagine that meeting? Him sitting there in a cabinet room.
No, and I don't want to.
I mean, he's probably drooling just at crypto. He's probably thinking of Superman.
It probably just it smells
Okay,
like.
so when I say the Biden administration, I just mean like
his people.
the White House.
You mean the
whoever.
puppets? You mean Susan Rice, Valerie Jarrett, and the rest of the crew?
So they want to appoint a crypto czar. So this czar will basically
I
appoint.
hate that word.
It's so communism.
Yeah, I hate that word.
There's
czar.
no czars
Czar.
exists except for Russia.
Yeah, so this is from the executive branch. They want to.
Yeah, I'll show you the executive branch.
But basically, I mean, really, the executive branch, they can't do anything without it passing through.
They can't enforce it.
Without it going through the legislative branch? There's 3 branches, right?
Well, yeah, judicial, executive, and
legislative.
legislative.
Yeah.
So a bill has to be passed, and then there has to be some kind of department that's going to enforce it. Otherwise, it's one of those kind of unwritten laws, or it's written, but it's not an enforced law.
Yeah, so
they'll put it under the commerce law, I'm sure, so that it affects everything that commerce covers. Pretty much everything in their world.
And you do have some of these like very vague,
right?
3-letter agencies.
Yeah.
It could be a FEMA or Department of Homeland Security or any one of these many things with multiple. They got their tentacles and all kinds of things. So if as soon as they say, well, it's an emergency order or something, an emergency, then FEMA goes after it. If it's something that's terrorist, then they'll send the DHS. If it's something, if they're finding like before Bitcoin got a bad connotation because it was affiliated with the Silk Road, where people were buying drugs on the dark web. Then they get the DEA involved. The DEA. So there's all kind. So all they have to do is manipulate the language to satisfy one particular enforcement branch to say, hey guys, this is the new law. We need you to come with a team. But to elect a czar, why use that terminology? Just say we're going to come up with a board or a chairman
person,
so you have a chairperson
to regulate to put people to study crypto in every one of these alphabetical
and I don't trust
industries.
them as far as you throw them because you don't know what angle they're going to take and say that it's gambling. They're going to say it's speculative and it's
they've
gambling.
They've waited this long, right? And crypto's gotten so big that it's out of their hands. It's out of control. I mean, can you imagine trying to deep dive into all of these different sectors?
All they would do is move it offshore, like everything else that you're not allowed to do in the States. Yeah. But we all know what the rich do. They go offshore. They go to the Caymans, the Bahamas, or anywhere else that's a lot more casual and liberal when it comes to these kind of policies and laws. And that's all they do. They just go spend the weekend in Davos or somewhere else in Switzerland and go to these banks. And again, there's so many offshoring is a big deal. So if they want to offshore Bitcoin and make it outlawed by us peasants, but they're going to go out there with their yachts. They're going to sail to the Caymans or wherever else, and they're going to have they're above the law. So all they could really do is if they decide to do that is treat it like anything else, any other commodity that we're not allowed to have, but is readily available for them, right?
Political elite.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm wondering who is in his ear because he knows nothing. He can't even spell Bitcoin.
Hunter.
It's not Hunter. Oh, gosh.
He's the smartest man he knows.
I'm sure he is.
Janet Yellen.
Well, any of them. Anybody who thinks that they can control this, first of all, is ludicrous. It's global.
Well, they're just trying to wrap their head around it. They're trying to see what they can.
Trying to make.
Well, and all of the different.
I think that's
the
$600
SEC, the
too.
OCC, all of the different regulators. That right now they're just all kind of arguing over who is going to tax it and who's going to be in control of what. So they don't even know. They're just trying to postpone and buy more time.
I'm thinking they have already somebody, a troll or a bot, monitoring the show. Because this news came out when? That he wants to pass this executive order?
Last Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And when did we mention on our show? Wasn't it last week? We mentioned that they wanted to look at the IRS wanted to look at transactions of $600.
Yep.
Yes.
So they heard our show, and now they're doubling down and trying to get
Now
an
they
executive
want a
order.
czar. Now, who
Yeah.
would be a good czar? Like
crypto?
If you were to pick a czar, who would
crypto?
the crypto czar be? Wouldn't it be cool if it was somebody who understood crypto?
No,
who
they're
was
not
like
going to
a
pick anybody that
crypto-friendly
understands.
regulator?
The problem with that administration is they don't take anybody from the real world. They take theorists. They take people from academia that know jack shit. They don't take anybody from the real world. If you look at you look at our transportation, we have this guy. What's his name? Buttigieg. I think he took a train when he was 5, but now he's in charge of our transportation, and we're all backed up in the seas.
And he's our transportation czar.
He's our transportation czar.
Yeah.
So these are the people that in the last prior administration under the Trump, they were all academia because they're elites. Because Americans we can't think for ourselves.
We're too dumb.
Right.
Yeah.
But we work for a living, and if you walked in my shoes and talk to people day to day, all these businesses around here.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what they're missing. We don't need academia. That's what's ruining this country. And I spent.
Well, we definitely don't need a swamp with swamp creatures who've been there for 50 years telling us how to run a business or how to invest our money.
Yeah.
Period.
We're gonna do speeches, Jesse. We're gonna do.
Oh yeah, we're gonna go on tour.
We'll go on tour.
Well, okay, it's funny that you say that because Gary Gensler, who is the head of the SEC, we thought maybe he would be crypto friendly because he's so educated on crypto, and it turns out it really hasn't been the case. And
educated, you could be a fan of it.
Yeah.
But if you work under an administration that has no idea what it is, they're running scared. The Federal Reserve, they're getting pressure from all the globalists, all the central banks, going, "Hey, figure this out. What are we doing?" Because now we're jeopardizing fiat currencies, bills and coins and the things, the legal tender we've been used to. So and I feel like I say this, on episodes when we get to this, we know it's not Biden. Oh, Bitcoin good or bad? Like it's not up to him. It's these people who are pulling the strings behind the scenes, and they're just using this administration to do all of their picking up the pieces and trying to get ahead and trying to figure things out. Even if they just do the panic, like the Yahoo Finance ad. Mm-hmm. By the way, not a credible news source. Screw Yahoo. Forever and ever, they suck. And I'll say it again, Yahoo. And it's because there is that force that's trying to manipulate the regular common Joe, the everyday Joe and Nancy out there who are just kind of like wanting to learn. And then they see a headline and they're like, they go to check their mail, innocently check their mail. And of course, what does Yahoo do? Like just flood like the whole like left plane or whatever, and it's all just fear, COVID numbers, this.
Well, that's what people click on. That's what people when people.
But it's not news. It's not real.
Yeah.
But people don't know. Also today, I heard before I left the house this afternoon,
Bitcoin doubled this year.
Yeah, no, it did. Before again, you talk about academia and people not understanding in that administration. So now, our president is talking to the energy people in this country to help open up pipelines so we can get gas flowing, so we can have cheaper prices. Now,
no, he's negotiating with OPEC Plus
and some of our
and
people.
Russia. Our enemies,
and folks
we're energy dependent, and now we're back, kissing the hand of the Arab princes.
I had heard he was talking to the folks here, the people developing here.
I would love to see that.
I know.
His first day in office, he canceled the pipeline.
Half of our problems is all
10,000 jobs.
All was done on January 21st. Everything that's happening right now, all could have been avoided. This country could have been humming along. He could have been
all
a hero.
he had to do was just sit in neutral.
Yeah.
Just don't apply the brake. Don't apply the gas. Just let it run its course.
Yeah.
That's all he had to do.
Yeah.
He was on a ship. Imagine like a tanker ship. Okay, you're on. All you got to do is set the autopilot, and you're on these international shipping lanes, and you go 3,000 miles without changing your bearing between Boston and South Africa. You go 3,000 miles without any land, anybody in your way. You're just on autopilot. And that's all you had to do was just let it go and just steam the ship all the way home.
When you look at everything that's happened to our economy and things down at the border, it's almost as if
It's on purpose.
That it's on purpose. Exactly.
Well,
that
duh.
Nobody.
It happens every.
These people can't be that. They can't be that dumb.
I don't know.
And why? What Americans have to look at is why do they want to do this to us? Why do they want us to collapse? Why do they want to? Why do they want to take away family? Why do they want to? Why are they destroying so many things? Why are they taking away holidays? Why are they doing these things?
Because we're not going to ask for their help until everything's destroyed. And once we ask for the government's help,
They got you.
there's no going back.
What do they call it? From birth to grave? What do they call that?
Pretty much, yeah.
What is it? What's the
Cradle to grave.
That's it.
Yeah,
cradle to grave. See, you got to
Yeah,
ask the
and,
diva.
you know,
the diva knows.
They want to take care of absolutely every part of your life, and you're gonna. And for some people, like, well, that's great. I could just sit on, eat my bonbons and Cheetos and watch, soaps all day. Well, that'd be great, but that's not a life.
No,
that's not a life.
And Cheetos, you can't find Cheetos. The shelves are empty.
Well, absolutely. You're going to be eating.
Did you ever think this country would have a shortage?
You're going to have to go and harvest crickets and make your own roasted cricket snacks.
There was a store in New York called
it's
Fortune.
so bad.
It's chocolate fillet. They had chocolate covered crickets.
Oh no, I heard it's a delicacy in most places. I'm just saying, yeah, you're not going to have everything that you could usually afford. The theme parks, all the different things. No, you can be funneled the propaganda in your nice little box of a TV. Okay, you're gonna be fed exactly what you need to. I mean, look at Idiocracy. I mean that. Who knew that we were gonna be heading into that direction and like a warp speed, and that's what they want. They want people to just eat lard out of a tub, sit on their couch, be immobilized. You're not gonna run from the authorities. Authorities are going to be, autonomous, robotic beings. AI is going to rule the streets, and they see you, they're just going to blast you. Like, what are you doing outside, human? And it's like, and guess what? All the liberties will be taken. You're going to get enough to be happy and satisfied. To not rebel. But they're also going to be pumping us with and it's starting now with who knows what in these medicines. Emergency use, mind you, medicines, and all the other things. And this is what comes. You're going to lose your medical liberty. You're going to use, once all the shelves are cleared out, and you're on subsidized government cheese, and you're going to get your food order via probably Amazon, since they have the best distribution network. Imagine that. And so you have all these things in place that magically will take care of you.
Does government and cheese include provolone?
No.
And mozzarella?
No. There's no choice of cheese.
Rat bastards.
And they're not going to let you.
Hey.
They're not going to let you grow goats.
How am I going to make my ziti? How am I going to make my ziti with
It's all
government
gone.
cheese?
It's all gone. Once you
Son of a
once you
bitch.
invite the government into your home to
Hey,
take care of
guys.
everything else, it's over.
Guys, do you remember when Time Dow was here and we talked about privacy and anonymity?
Yes.
I have another story. Okay.
Okay, good.
This
Okay.
kinda
I got to get on my soapbox. I'm sorry, listeners.
This
Oh,
is
man.
just a little segue into. I think it was one of those letter organizations, possibly the FBI, but the coin Monero is a privacy coin, and we talked about that with Time Dow. We talked about the difference between anonymity and privacy. So Monero is Defi Diva. Monero is a privacy coin. So basically, you can't see in the blockchain like the amounts that you transact or which wallets you're transacting with, because one thing that we worry about with, especially with the central bank digital currencies or even Bitcoin, everybody can see what you're doing. Everybody can see it's not the best crypto to transact if you're trying to commit crimes contrary to popular belief. But there was a Navy veteran and his wife that were accused of selling nuclear submarine secrets. But it was like a honeypot deal where they were coerced into making this deal, and they received payment in Monero. They were sent payment in Monero, this privacy coin. But it ended up being the FBI that set them up. So now they're facing charges.
Yeah,
for
that was
selling
the other
secrets.
day they got arrested.
Yeah, okay. So
And
you
they
heard
should
about
be
that?
nuclear sub secrets.
course.
No,
Of course.
hang them by the toenails, and let's all just. Let's all just knock wasp nests and just let the wasps seriously, painful death. Painful. No mercy.
But do you think that, what about the agency that's catching them, right? Do you think they set them up, or, how does...
Well, they set them up because they knew they were doing something wrong. They got tipped off that they were
All they had to
Give
do
them
was
secrets.
not accept it.
Yeah.
Not accept the money. But they did.
Well, no, yeah.
Once they accepted the money, then you charge them.
Yeah.
Right? Because
No, but this Monero, because it is a privacy coin, it'll be.
so it's not that private, I guess.
Well, no, because they were transacting directly with
Oh.
the agency that was trying to catch them.
Well,
So-
I guess I don't have opinion. I'm trying to understand like where. I mean, is that something that could be prevented, or should we encourage that same use for other derelicts? People trying to sell, pornography or anything else.
Yes.
In transactions. But I think there's always, I think Silk Road and the dark web is already being heavily monitored. I don't even hear that term really at all. I don't think there is even a dark web anymore. I'm sure there is, but I don't know about it. Most people don't talk about it in my circle. We certainly don't talk about it in crypto news. So for me, listen, bad people are going to do bad things. There's been a dichotomy in this world, and the two forces are good and evil, and it's just what it is. And I came to terms with it. Okay, when a cheetah hunts down a rabbit, it's not a bad cheetah. That's just nature. So in nature there exists this good and bad force, this dark and light, this and it's just how it is. So I have no doubt that there's always going to be an element of someone trying to do something bad, trying to make off with some Monero or something else. I mean, if I was selling secrets from a nuclear sub, I'd kind of have the payment already sorted out. Like, I want unmarked, untraceable cash from 5 different countries. Okay, so nobody could trace either one. I want 1,000 mil or lira from Italy. I want 1,000 over here. And I want to branch. Like, I don't want to be holding any one currency. I mean, for me, if I was this villainous kind of guy, I would be a lot smarter about that. Like, you're not gonna get these secrets unless I could see the cash. Okay, and I already and I want you to put it in this a numerical, one of those unnamed bank accounts in Switzerland. And once I see that balance, then you could have everything that I have. But until that happens, I mean, you're just gonna be a smart villain. These people weren't smart.
No.
And I mean, and if somebody said, "Hey, I'll give you Monero," even today, I'd be like, "I'd prefer Ethereum or something else." I mean, you keep me your Monero. I don't know. But no, I just it's hard to have an opinion about that because it's just not smart. It's just not smart.
Monero's was a steakhouse on Long Island.
Same thing with bullion. Like, no one wants like silver bullion. You can't spend that, even though it's worth a lot to somebody. I'm sure some collector would give you, but it's not. It's a whole thing. I mean, with a wire transfer, that's gonna flag the IRS, and you're gonna have to pay taxes on it. Again, unless it's cash that I could just disperse in different accounts around the world, I wouldn't be. And that's why I'm not a villain, right?
No. So humans, we have tools. We can use them for good or evil.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
good and evil.
To close things out,
we're
we'll just
done?
go over the CPI numbers. The Consumer Price Index report came out today for September, and we are at the highest inflation rate that we have been in the past 13 years since the financial crisis.
Is that really news?
Are you guys seeing it in the grocery store?
Oh my God!
The gas station. I'll tell you, I just filled my car up with gas. $70.
Do you use a premium 89?
No.
93?
87.
87?
Yeah.
Wow.
Unleaded?
Well, that's a big tank.
Yeah.
That's a big tank.
I got a big tank.
That's our diva.
That's our diva. Hashtag Defi Diva. You heard it here first.
No, the grocery store. It really is. I mean,
we're coining it today, by the way. It's official.
Okay.
I went to the grocery store. I have ziti here for everybody. I made ziti the other day. Even the mozzarella
It's a ziti.
Even the mozzarella was expensive. I noticed it was a little bit pricey.
Yeah.
I was like, this is just ridiculous.
Everything's going up.
I know. It's crazy.
So, I mean, you're going to see it at the gas pump, restaurants.
Used cars are through the roof.
There's inflation. I mean, housing.
Go on Google and look at the chart of all. They have it all.
And do you really think it's the prices going up, or it's inflation? The dollar's going down.
The dollar's going down.
Right. And that's what happens.
And
Well, and to keep up with it, we're going to need a pay increase, right, to be able to keep up with it.
Or they're just going to keep us on this stimulus again,
But that doesn't
on that
work.
They
government,
raised
on
food
that government
stamps.
tit, on that
But
government
They
tit.
raised food stamps
the raise
right away.
doesn't
That
work.
was the first thing that
But-
they
but-
did. That
but-
way the bottom and the middle class don't notice as
But
quickly.
but Jennifer, even a pay raise doesn't work either because everything's so expensive. It's all relevant. By the time you go from this bracket to this bracket, you might only be bringing home an extra 39 or 40. Sometimes that doesn't. It doesn't mean. Look at the state of Washington. I think it was Washington or Oregon when they went to that $15 an hour.
Mm-hmm.
All those restaurants. All of a sudden, the waiters, all the waitresses, and so, don't give me 30 hours anymore. You tip it into no, I need less hours.
Right.
Because what happened is those people were living they were doing okay. They were
They
living
got
nicely.
put into another tax
They got put into another tax bracket, and they lost their government. They lost a lot of their government
Subsidies. Yeah.
subsidies. So whoa, so it backfired on
I'm
them.
earning too much.
I'm earning too much. So, and then
So
you
what do we
figure
want
out.
to do then with inflation? We want to
No.
find a home for our money, put it into assets that are going to increase in value, that are going to maintain their purchasing power.
And you have to fill a supply chain. If we had gas and oil again, that price we wouldn't be seeing the high price.
Right.
If we wouldn't have 200 ships sitting out in California, wherever, move them. That's the dumbest thing here in this country. Get people out of their asses. Stop paying them the money. Say, you want your money? Go to work. That's it. You want the extra $300? Go pick up papers in the frickin' street. You know how hard we have to work for money? No, go pound sand. I'm tired of this. Our tax dollars. Go pound sand. F you. I'm done. We're out of here. Good night, everybody.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for tuning in to the Crypto Wave podcast. Please make sure that you like us.
Please.
And share us where you watch us. If you want more information on how you can get started with cryptocurrency, you can
Nice and
find
loud.
me
Yes.
at spacecoastcryptoconsulting.com, and you can email me at Jennifer@spacecoastcryptoconsulting. And share us where you watch us.
And thank you, everybody. See
Subscribe,
you soon.
follow, and again, read the descriptions because I spend a lot of time on those descriptions. There's a lot of cool links to further your knowledge and find out more about some of the articles we're talking about and such like that.
And remember, this is all for entertainment.
Yeah, full disclosure.
Yeah.
We
We have no clue.
have no clue.
Bye, everybody.